Alright, I'm going to go ahead and provide a quick little video for those that are interested who happen to own this platform or similar rifles to it. And we're talking about this would be the HK variant, would be the H&K G3. You got the PTR 91, the SETME, and this is the Century Arms C308, which is essentially a SETME. I believe it's a SETME upper, or I could say upper receiver, and then this is a PTR lower receiver for those that are wanting to go California compliant. There's not a lot of options out there as opposed to when you're talking about the AR platforms, and there's not a lot of choices and things. So I'm just going to give you a rundown of what I did, what worked for me. So for most people that have it, the buttstock on these are, in fact, they don't, they're non-adjusting, so there's, that's not an issue for California state law. And then this model, which is the SETME one, it came with, or I should say the, yeah, it's the SETME one, the Century Arms one. It came with a muzzle brake already on it, so those things were fine. The one area that was the sticking point, the biggest issue, was the pistol grip. And so I came up with a idea that works for me. So I went ahead and got online and ordered a Kydex wrap to wrap the pistol grip so that no longer can you put your thumb around it. But at the same time, the one thing I don't like about this option is not having a thumb rest. And I have some of the other versions for the AR platforms where it uses the Magpul MIAD pistol grip, and you can slide out the back plate of it and put on, I think it's Exile Machines, I think is the company that makes those fins that are compliant, and they slip right onto the back. And then there's also a thumb rest, which makes it a lot more ergonomic, easier to manipulate, hold on to the rifle, and it just feels more comfortable. And I like that, but they don't have anything like that for these. And the problem with these PTR lowers is that it's a single unit. This is all plastic, and so you have to, if you were to do something like that, you can't like just put on an aftermarket pistol grip or anything like that. So this is what I went with. It seemed like the best option. But then what I did is I still wanted to have that thumb rest, because that's pretty kind of essential for this kind of setup, so that again, you have that thumb to rest on, and there's nothing out there as an option. So what I did is I happened to go on eBay. I found somebody who was selling this furniture for very low price, so just kind of experimenting with it. So I took off my original black furniture and I put this on, and what I did over here is I can't remember the name of this, but it's produced by, I believe it is Strike Industries, and it's I think it's called a thumb. Oh, it goes onto their grips. It's like for putting your index finger so that you have your finger correctly on the trigger. But these things, they're designed to screw like into this portion of the pistol grip. And I thought, well, okay, that'd be really cool. Maybe I could use that as a thumb rest to put on there. It's not very thick, so there wasn't a lot of room here for the thumb to kind of rest. So I took some nylon material from an RC engine mount. I used to race RC planes, and the engine mounts are made out of a heavy grade nylon, very tough grade stuff, and it just fit perfectly in there as kind of a piece in between. So I just cut it off and did a little sanding, got it to fit my thumb. And I went ahead and used some small blind nuts on the inside of this receiver, because this whole trigger package comes out. It's very simple to take out. And there's blind nuts back here, and I've got two Allen wrench screws there to screw in there. And it's screwed in fine. Everything functions great. There is just a little bit of minute bulge because of the blind nut the back end of it, it's thin, but there's not much tolerance between the trigger package and the wall of this lower. So it doesn't fit completely. There's just it just causes it to bow just a minute amount, but it still operates fine, no issues. You might even see the gap there. It's very minute, but this thing is stout. It's not coming off. It is permanent. So I'm really satisfied with how that turned out, and everything actuates fine in it. I'm not having any issues or anything with it. So that is what made it compliant. At the same time, I went ahead and these mag release buttons, where their positioning is horrible. So I went ahead and went to HK Parts and got the Tack Latch on there, so you can see it here, and it works and it fit in there. There was only a little minor amount of grinding I had to do on the inside here to get that to fit in there. You can hardly see it. It really wasn't much of anything. Just used a Dremel, and it fit in there fine. And I'm getting used to it, and I like it. It's still, you know, it may not be perfect. It is way better than this, because you've got to have like really long, like bass player fingers to where it's comfortable to hit that button. So, and then the last thing I did is I do not really care for the iron sights on these. I have the tool for adjusting these, but those that are unfamiliar with it, the thing is the post on the inside, it's off-centered, and it's designed to be that way so that you can, as you spin it around, it adjusts for windage. But I don't really care for it. I really don't like this back here. I can't stand this sight, and it's not the peephole, it's the regular one that's open. I believe that's, if I can get to it, it's this one here. I have a hard time seeing it and lining it up with the peg, so I've set it up for the next increment, but I still don't like it so much, and so I went ahead with a red dot. I haven't taken it out to shoot it yet, but I have a feeling it'll be a big improvement over the iron sight. So anyway, just wanted to present this concept to those that are interested in the state of California that have this rifle and are considering ways of getting it compliant. I know there's not a lot of options, but this is what I did, and it works for me. So there you go. Take it and roll with it if you want.